Moving like PK, bring your girl round me, calm and I might like her. I made 10k launch from a like her. Man can't chat about 10 from a like her. All my peace go to my mum. If you try and rob me, you're trying to take from my mum. Are you dumb? Make man skip to the beat of the gun. I don't wanna set down with a whole ton. Man wanna earn like Pablo. Man spread me and my honeys are like Darko. From a Spanish town, got shouts just like Barco. Move through danger, my new school's narco. Put a great you in your house like Roger. Pulls in your crib with work like a lodger. Jump straight over, connects like Frogger. Tell that chick she's cute, man, holler. My skin will touch man like a sad story. Try beat man, you'll get my glory.
Okay, Michael.
Okay, Jerome.
And welcome to
Okay, guys.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Indeed.
Last one of the
term. This is the last episode of season 1, as the Americans would say, of what can only be described as a legacy.
That will last.
The last 1,000 years. We are the Fourth Reich. This show.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope we've carried the flag.
What is it? The Roman Empire, Bismarck, the Nazis, and us.
Naturally.
It's pretty much a natural follow. Yeah.
Indeed, and it's been a good one.
Yeah,
I'd say I'll look back on this. I'll look back on this term with fondness.
I won't if it weren't for this. This is, the segregation of all those people that obviously as the Fourth Reich we all want to enact. Those have been lovely things. That and the radio show.
Of course, we've established our power, and the radio show was just sort of a side bonus to it all.
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed it though, in the main. So yeah, here we are in the last one.
So as
ever,
all of our listeners will know.
Oh, we got two, mate.
I feel we should just not look at that page because it's
yeah, no, it's really sort of like.
So as the Holy Roman rather than the technically I said Roman Empire, so you could take it in any direction.
Yeah, you could.
Yes, the thanks Marcel. I know who that is for once. That's the name of my tailor. The where Bristol Revunions, as everyone that's listening will almost certainly know. So the first thing we have to do is catch up on Rev News. Has anything interesting happened in Rev News the past week? We all saw Rogue One. Loads of Reunions. You didn't. Loads of Reunions saw Rogue One at the midnight screening.
Yes.
This morning.
And how was it?
So good. Really, really good.
As good as a Reunion show?
No, but really good. No, genuinely, it is. It is so fantastic to see how well they've managed to create a great independent bit of Star Wars that stands so well. It massively humanises A New Hope as well. It genuinely makes A New Hope a better film because it's such a wonderfully sort of human story, and it's done. The effects are brilliant. Bringing Grand Moff Tarkin to life is very, very impressive. The story is very well constructed. It gives exactly the right amount of time to characterization. It never feels like it slows down too much, and it never feels like it's going too fast. I have minor gripes with it, but overall, I was very impressed. I highly, highly recommend it.
Out of 5 stars.
I'm not very good at rating films like that. If I had to rate it out, the thing is, my ratings out of 10 are quite different to most. So for me, 7 out of 10 is a really quite decent film. 7 is the benchmark. Below 7, probably still a good film that has flaws. Above 7, actively better than just good. So for me, 2001: A Space Odyssey would be 9.7, 9.8. That's my favourite film ever, which makes sense. So this, if I put The Force Awakens, which I really loved, I'd sort of say would be probably about an 8.3, 8.4 for me because I really enjoyed it. I'd say this would be as a film, independent of a franchise, a better film. So probably about an 8.5. It was really fantastic.
Well, there you have it, guys. Michael's given Rogue One 8.5. Tune in every week for our film reviews.
So that's now the new element of Reunion. That's the reason I say that is because that is pretty much all that Reunions have done.
Well, yeah,
because it's the end.
We had a workshop last night of which I was not present.
I was. Yeah, we did nothing of any worth.
Good. Not good, but
it's what happens.
Thanks for telling me.
It's the truth.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We end it on a bang. Reunions.
We do.
It's been a very, very good term.
It has been a fantastic term for Reunions.
Yeah, we've got to remember we've done a lot of stuff.
We've done so many things.
I think we're all looking forward to
not doing anything anymore. I genuinely cannot put into words how much I'm looking forward to not being in Bristol.
I can a lot.
Yeah, well, just many words. I'm looking forward to not being in Bristol. Would be the first words to jump for.
That's just my sentence for you guys. I'm looking forward to not being in Bristol for at least a week. Just fresh, refresh the mind, mate.
Yeah, hoping that it'll
be back in East London.
Hoping it'll help curb the heroin addict.
Exactly. And onto the, lesser known damaging drugs.
So, the news.
The news. I'm prepared with the news this week. The news. Should we do a jingle?
Oh, yeah. You're listening to the news.
The news.
The news!
Like I had this. So the news this week. A guy in Minnesota had his man in Minnesota had his Frosty the Snowman snabbed.
All right then.
Snabbed.
Snabbed.
Why do I say snabbed? Stabbed to death.
To death. Yeah.
There was a video that captured from his home security cameras captured the guy described as a white male, possibly in his mid-20s, with a bandana covering his face. He jumped out of his car, approached the inflatable. I don't know how he approached the inflatable. As if it posed a threat for him.
Trying to intimidate it?
Oh yeah, just stealth as well. He could run away. So I got to be inconspicuous about this one. But he approached it. It doesn't say how, but I assume quite sort of stealthily, and then lashed out at it with a sharp object. I love possibly a knife.
What was his day like before doing that? What happened? When people stab a snowman.
I was saying to my mate the other day, you know that difference between thinking and doing?
Yeah.
We all think about a lot of things.
But you don't normally go, I'm going to stab that snowman, but I'm not actually going to stab that snowman.
I have thought many a time about things that would be completely ridiculous in the context.
Yeah.
But I don't do it.
No. The difference, though. This guy is a doer. This guy isn't. He's not one of us. He's not one of those people. He's a carpe diem mother effer. He's he's willing to go out and take those kind of risks.
And
I would say actually that
I respect him for that.
No, I don't respect him for stabbing Frosty the Snowman to death. But on terms of things that you sort of say but don't do, in first year, a few of us decided to take a couple tabs of acid and go to the aquarium. And one of those things where you kind of think, that sounds like a good idea, but when you actually do it, it would be horrible because there's going to be loads of people there and it's actually going to be kind of paranoid and all that kind of thing. No, it's exactly as good as it sounds. Saw an octopus eat a live crab and I think I met God. It was amazing. If you ever have some acid, go to an aquarium. There's nothing trippier than marine life. There is actually one thing, it's tripping. So when you combine the two things, oh my word. Seahorses, man. The hell's going on there?
So you'd say the octopus with the crab was the most sort of enlightening moment?
Yeah, Elsa eating a live crab.
Elsa was it? Oh, okay.
Elsa the octopus. Probably dead now. They live very short lives, octopuses. They only normally live to about 3 years old. They have to actually manually push the blood around their body, around their arms, because it doesn't normally go there. So they have to move their arms in a way that allows the blood to go through it. And so as they get older...
So often they sort of need to shake the arms.
Yeah, basically they have to sort of move... They move very deliberately in order so the blood can flow properly, because if they don't, then their blood won't flow properly and the arm will just sort of...
I suppose it's second nature to them now, isn't it?
It is, but eventually they stop being able to do it, so their arms sort of basically sort of not... What's the word? Not entropy, but they degrade in any case, and so as they get older, to about the age of 3. Which is a shame, because they're incredibly intelligent creatures. If they lived longer, they'd be they're wonderful
scarily
things.
Intelligent.
Yeah, monumentally so. Them and corvids, actually. People underestimate the intelligence of corvids. Ravens and such. They showed a group of ravens.
You lost me for a bit there.
So to solve a puzzle, it was like you had some feed and you had to get the like a little sort of transparent plastic cup off it, and it was like a series of pulleys and levers. And most birds that they show it, all they do is they kind of attack the system. They kind of attack the little transparent cup and try and just fill it up by force. They showed it to a group of ravens. And the ravens don't touch it. They go at it, they look at it, they go round it without touching anything, and then they pull the correct lever and food pops out.
Genius.
There's 3 levers. You choose 2 of the other ones, nothing like that. So yeah, that's the news. That's not the entire news, that's some of the news.
Not as good as humans.
No, that is true. We are better. I mean, you've got to understand, when dolphins are clever, they have conversations, but I mean, we've got guns and stuff. It's way more effort. Look, we're talking to you on the radio. Dolphins couldn't do that. Dolphins can go do a shit. What have they got? Dolphins kill fish and use their carcasses to masturbate. That's true.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of that, actually.
I only do that when the mood takes me. They do it on a semi-regular basis.
I've done that once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other pieces of news.
Weird moment. Well, officials in Western Canada have warned motorists to not interact with moose if they find them licking salt off their cars. So just stay away. Apparently there's a 30-metre viewing moose zone. So you can't be within 30 metres of a moose.
Is that because they are incredibly dangerous, or is that because they're protected?
They're dangerous.
They are very dangerous.
Very heavy.
People very underestimate mooses. They're basically just sort of huge ram scoops with lots and lots of muscle on them, and they weigh a figurative ton. They're really cool creatures.
Well, apparently people try to push them away once on foot.
That's silly.
And they just get absolutely...
Yeah, there's a
battered.
moose. Of course it is. Like the guy that punched a kangaroo.
Well,
we were talking about last.
Yeah, we were talking about that. And you said that obviously the kangaroo expects to kick.
Yeah.
So maybe if you, I don't know, hit the moose in the...
What would a moose not expect?
In the rump.
I mean, I'd say if there's anything a moose wouldn't expect, they would probably one-up it. Probably being shot in the head would probably...
That would be
do
quite good, yeah.
Yeah.
Give it the finger. Not in the literal sense. More the... Flip them off.
No, I'd gathered.
Also not in the literal sense. Just middle finger at them. Might go away.
It might be genuine. Oh, that's just horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. If I'm not welcome.
Oh, this salt isn't good, is it? Oh, alright. Move on then.
Jesus.
Didn't know that.
Could have just said.
Yeah.
Very rude.
Yeah. So don't push moose in Canada.
Don't push moose. I like the fact it's only Western Canada. You can push all the moose in northern, eastern, and southern
Northern,
Canada.
eastern, and southern Canada.
Those mooses are ripe for a pushing.
They love it.
They can't get enough of it. Oh, push me! That's how mooses speak.
That's why they.
Or as I like to call them, meese.
Meese.
The plural of mooses. It's the plural of mooses. So you've got moose, and then you've got mooses, and then if you've got many mooses, you've got meese.
Seriously?
No.
Cool. Gee, it's the end of the term, mate. I'm tired. I've had a long day. I've had a nice day, but a long day. Sorry. Why am I apologising?
Who are you apologising to for that
myself
matter?
more than anything, really. Well, I don't believe that.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have anything else?
Well, what's
I've got
happening in Wales?
What's happening in Wales?
What's happening in Wales? Well, I'll tell you what's happening in Wales. Once again, a factory's closing down, Michael. Sorry to
happens
say.
a lot in Wales, doesn't it?
It does. Consultations are happening over plans to close a Newport bakery. Well, bakery/factory. Factory of the bakery. With 150 jobs set to be cut.
That is a
What
shame.
a shame.
That is a shame.
Poor Wales.
Very interesting country. A group of would-be robbers have... This happened 2 days ago. They pocket dialed 911 and discussed on the pocket dial plans to rob a restaurant that the chief of police was at that time eating in. It's not lucky, is it? That's really...
It's just pocket dialing 911.
Yeah. How would you... I suppose
it's the emergency bit, isn't it? Does they even do it straight to the number?
I don't know.
You've still got to type in the number. So it's suggesting to me they've got recent calls.
And also, like in the UK, emergency dial isn't just 999, is it? You got like because you got other
111.
You got 111, and then isn't there like
123? No, I made that up.
There's something like 333. There's something else. Point being,
if you know what it is, please.
There's such a series of events led to that, and then so basically the chief of police apparently just walked out of the diner, walked round a block, and saw them just sitting in there in the car, and they basically went, "Oh no."
Imagine filing out the paperwork for that one.
They all they could arrest them on was they had some open liquor, because obviously they hadn't actually done anything.
Oh yeah.
So they managed to arrest them on charges of having like open containers of alcohol, and then they're gonna play the tape in court, presumably.
Is that a crime?
Is it a crime? Having open containers of alcohol is actually
no,
a crime.
but the bit of suggesting you're going to commit a crime.
It's conspiracy or something.
Yeah, well, I suppose
conspiracy
they'd
to
have
rob?
no grounds to, to what's it called, to jail terrorists who plot stuff and whatnot.
No, I'm not sure that conspiracy to rob would get you much jail time. I think it'd probably just get you a very...
No, but it's the same sort of bracket.
Same sort of bracket.
You say you're going to do it.
It's a risky bracket as well. But in any case, that's the extent of that.
I mean,
rather than getting into
I'm planning to rob
debate.
the co-op on White Ladies.
Oh, really? Yeah, how are you going to do that? Tell me in detail how you're going to do that.
Put me in a prison, lock me up. Come on then.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a prison. The prison's your own mind. You carry your prison around with you.
The prison is my body.
My prison is your body as well, and it's getting weird.
It is. News.
Rent a Jew project hopes to ward off anti-Semitism in Germany.
Sorry, say that again. Rent a Jew.
Yeah. Hopes to ward off anti-Semitism.
Oh, God.
I'm not clicking on that article. I'm just going to
No, I
leave
don't
that
think
there.
you should. Did you just find that as well?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's just leave it at that.
Yik Yak fires 30 of 50 employees, still has no business model. I just like the idea that
thing is,
what will happen? Let's fire some people. I genuinely don't know.
Do you think it cut some costs? Yeah.
Yeah, because that seems to be what happens when you fire people. I don't know.
The thing is,
I like the fact they still have no business plan.
The thing
as well.
about Yik Yak was, it all sort of there was this massive hype around it. Obviously, in 2 years ago, and everyone was sort of saying, well, this is really like this is look at this Yik Yak, look at that, whatnot. It's the same idea as Twitter. It's the same idea as Facebook.
Yeah. Except it's anonymous.
Except there's less to it.
The anonymity adds a lot.
You could choose to be anonymous on Twitter.
You could, but the difference is that it's always coming from the same account on Twitter, as you don't know if a certain...
Yeah,
I don't know what they're called, yaks. I've never used Yik Yak, but you don't know whether the certain person is repeatedly doing
Well,
it.
anyway, it's got to that point where it's just boring.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Did you ever use it?
No, I didn't. My
friends used it a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
really
friends
excited
used it.
being up to few.
Yeah, I had a friend that got like 300 something.
I could probably guess who that is.
I don't think it's actually who you think it is.
Well, it would be. I think. Well, no, you know who I think.
I know who you think it is. Yeah, and I don't think it was him. I
Cryptic.
can't quite remember. I think.
Well, I never did it.
No, nor did I.
I'm not one for self-indulgence over social media.
No, you're just one for
Self-indulgence,
broadcasting your voice to the many people that listen to the show,
which isn't self-indulgent at all.
None the slightest. And then listening to it back.
I do it every single time I get home. As soon as I get back, got that movie stick, stick it in the computer, and just
get
listen to the
naked,
whole-
oil yourself up, and listen to it.
and do nothing else. Just oil myself up.
Just sort of sit there squelching.
Yeah, resist the urge. We do this show together every week.
Yuck.
No.
Pilot congratulates passengers for drinking all of the alcohol on the plane. What else can you do at that point but congratulate them? Screw it, I was annoyed, but you know what?
Guys,
well done.
I've been flying for 24 years
This
now.
has never happened.
This is never... We have
so
hundreds of
much.
litres of alcohol.
So
in this.
much. You genuinely made the... Well, obviously you hadn't made the plane lighter because you just transferred the mass. But yeah, that's so impressive. It's like when they have, the obviously World Darts Championships in Ali Pali in London.
I want to go to one of those.
They look so fun.
insane.
I really want to go. They a few
On my
years
own,
ago, more than one. Just by yourself.
just tag along onto a table.
Hey, I'm Jerome, scorer, apples and pears.
To be fair, I'd fit in.
Yeah, you would.
I'd probably get there and just up my level of Cockney.
Yeah, just go.
times.
It's fine. I was born here. I was born here.
Yeah, can I have one ticket, please, as soon as I get in there?
Apples and pears and various other fruit. But yeah, it's multiple, like 2 times in the bars. They literally drunk Ali Pali dry.
Wow.
That's so impressive.
I mean...
That is so impressive.
Yeah, it is. That is very impressive.
That is
actually.
immensely
I think I'm
impressive.
sort of taking a while to register that because initially I thought that doesn't surprise me at all because they drink a lot. Every single, when they do a sort of pan.
Yeah.
Every single person I can guarantee has a pint up in the air, celebrating.
Yeah.
Or any other form of drink, and it's just absurd considering how many people there are and how long darts goes over for one session.
Well, the thing is, you have a load of
you have a load of different games, but
and-
I don't know how ticketing works, but I presume you have a day ticket. Don't you?
I'd imagine.
Well, there you go. And so people just
selling absolutely
having a
hammered.
session.
But yeah, drinking Ali Pali dry is so impressive. That's got the pilot must have basically been in the situation where about halfway through. It'd be
I was there,
annoying.
Ali Pali 2012, and you know what? it doesn't compare.
Yeah, he must just what can you do but congratulate them at that point? So join in.
Maybe he had all.
That would be the worst way.
Maybe.
The statement "if you can't beat them, join them" has some worthwhile. That is not a time when it is worth
Maybe
using.
he had all the alcohol and was just so smashed he thought everyone else had it.
Who's your rank?
Guys, thank you so much.
You've honestly, I'm not kidding, guys. Like I genuinely don't say as much. It's not. You are such a good group of passengers.
You
are such a good group of passengers.
I've met so many in my life. Okay,
and you are just like the.
I love you.
I genuinely. I know we haven't known each other that long, but honestly, I genuinely love you. And I hope you're not just going to think it's because I'm drunk.
No. I know it's a short haul flight to Barcelona, but listen.
Derek, the flight landed 4 hours ago. You're in a public toilet.
Derek, come on, you got a flight later.
You got another flight, you dinlo. Where are we letting you fly? We don't know.
Look, you don't understand. I love you. You're talking to the toilet.
There's a speck of dirt. It might be poo.
I'm not even sure you've drunk any alcohol. You've just drunk the toilet water. You're just delusional. What's going on? Oh, bless him. Well, we just sort of assume now that the guy was piss drunk flying a plane. Fair enough. Well, fair play to the crowd. I mean, do you know which flight it was? Was it long haul, short haul? What we're talking?
You know what? I'll check.
If it was short haul, that's all the more impressive.
That
Although
is
you'd assume they'd have a little bit less.
That's a port to port situation. You've ever been part of a port to port? It's when you on a short haul flight going to say southern Spain from say Gatwick. The idea is you get a bottle of port and you've got to go port to port. So you get it in duty free. So you bring it on the flight with you, and then you have to finish it from takeoff to landing.
Impressive. You ever done it?
No, because it's one of those things where you think that would be a great idea. No,
but you did say earlier,
especially when you arrive in Spain at like 10 a.m. and
you decided to get a cheap flight that gets you in there about midday. You just get out sweltering heat, dry as well, absolutely pissed off your face. We've got a comment in from Goz, who we know who that is.
We do. Yeah.
What if the man?
Oh my
going back to
God.
the pilot? What if he was an aggressive drunk? I don't want to hop off sides, but you know.
You know where the flight was going from? It was going from Oakland in California to Kansas City in Missouri. It was just flying over continental US. That can't be more than that's a 3 hour and 20-minute flight.
Why are they drinking that much before Kansas City? What was going on there? That's what I'm thinking.
It was full of Oakland Raiders football players. There we
football
go.
Players?
Apparently.
The players?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have thought they'd learn to drink.
I wouldn't have thought that too. That's why I'm reacting.
Maybe they were fans or like shit.
Yeah, maybe a combination.
Yeah. The Chiefs did beat the Raiders in that game.
Yeah, I wonder why. guys, I've got a genius idea. You just got to get smashed a few hours before kickoff.
Yeah, you have a buzz, you'll be excited.
And you just, it's a nice light buzz. And I'll tell you what, it does wonders for fitness. So let's try it out, see how it works this week.
Do you reckon
Works
that?
Well.
I'm going to go for a dark joke here that isn't really particularly funny, but actually, no,
don't, because I know what you're referring to.
It's about the plane thing.
Yeah, not too soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Give it next term.
No, I wasn't. That isn't what I was.
Oh, you weren't going to make a joke out of them?
No.
Good.
No, that wasn't the joke.
Go on then. We welcome all shapes and sizes.
It's not really that funny.
Okay, well, there we go. Well, on that premise, the fact that we're a comedy show and you're saying that,
it's like I immediately, when I first said it, I thought it was funnier than it was. But now I'm thinking.
You know what we said about thinking and then doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, normally I just do, and sometimes it goes quite well.
Yeah, that I agree. Sometimes it's just pure dark.
No, but it wasn't about them.
Great.
It was much further back than that. It was referring to a significantly older incident.
Okay. Again, I could sort of hazard a guess as to which
I had assumed this time.
one.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Cool.
No, it's 9/11.
Okay.
Moving on.
Have you got any more news, or we all sort of?
I can find you some more news quite happily. I've got my long list. I've got a long list here that I sort of occasionally delve into.
I can find you some more news.
Well, as in, I have a list, and I never say all of the stuff on my list. Man stabbed to death at party celebrating life of friend killed in knife attack the day before. I'm sure if
I just wanted to pay homage.
I was trying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Exactly.
So I had someone stab me to death. The thing is, if obviously,
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it'd just be a stab. Not death,
I would actually look at that article, I'm sure it's genuinely really sad. But that headline's really funny. I'm not going to go into it anymore. I think that's probably enough.
Yeah, because we've done that a few times. We've sort of seen a
news.
funny headline, gone into the article,
and it's just horrible.
And it's just turned out really, really horrible.
Sporting news.
I do indeed, Michael. I have some sporting news again from the South African Premier League.
Oh, the Budfest Vits. How are the Budfest Vits doing?
Budfest Wits.
I love those classic Buddhas.
Well, you can tell us. The Budfest Wits, obviously in the South African Premier League, they're aiming for the title, and we've been keeping up with them the past few weeks.
Yeah, they're currently third. Last time they were third, but they had 2 games to play.
They still have 2 games to play, and they're 3 points off first.
So they can do it. They can do it. Who is the game against? Do you know?
Yes, I do know that. So Bidvest Wits were
Who were they playing in the South African Premier
playing a
League?
South African team, I can tell you that much, for the time being.
It wasn't Cape Town.
No, it was Golden Arrows.
They had a fixture against Golden Arrows quite recently.
I think they did.
I think they're playing the Golden Arrows. It was a draw. It was 0-0. 2 yellow cards in the first half with Bidvest. So that's the end of the sports.
Oh, shame, bit
boring. What are we going to do next?
Well, we have Song Off.
You've
chosen the theme this week.
I really like this bit.
I really like this bit.
It
stops me from talking. My mouth's getting dry. I need a bit of water.
So
I've run out, actually.
What we do here, as I'm sure most of you know, we'll play a song, and then we alternate choices. So we choose a theme. Theme is one word, and then we both pick songs in accordance with that theme. And we'll tell you what the theme is after the first song. So between the first and the second song.
We like to sort of leave a bit.
Yeah, we leave a little bit. So
should I go first this week?
Oh yeah, if you want to go first this week, absolutely.
I'll go first this week.
So we'll tell you what the theme is.
Picked the theme this week.
So yeah, I picked.
If that will help you, sort of.
I thought it was quite fitting.
Yeah, sort of infer as to what the theme would be. I don't know how that would help. So this is my choice for this week.
With a burning violin, dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch and be my homeward dove, and dance me to the end of love. Yeah, dance me to the end of love. Let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know the limits of, and dance me to the end of love. Yeah, dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the wedding now. Dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly and dance me very long. We're both of us beneath our love, we're both of us above. And dance me to the end of love. Yeah, dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the children who are asking to be born. Dance me through the curtains that our kisses have outworn. Raise a tent of shelter now, though every thread is torn. And dance me to the end of love. through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Touch me with your naked hand, touch me with your glove. Dance me to the end of love. Yeah, dance me to the end of love.
Yeah,
Well, that was nice.
that was very nice. Very, very nice. The late Leonard Cohen,
The
of course.
late great Leonard Cohen.
Late, great Leonard Cohen. Amazing, amazing song.
Amazing, boys.
Dance Me to the End of the Love. I don't know if you got that from the fact that they repeated it many a time, but that was the name of the song.
So the theme is not unsettling,
No.
Camilla.
No, it's not.
It's a beautiful song, how dare you. The theme for this week's is End.
End, indeed.
Because it's the end of the term, and it's the end of the first series
you
of our
never
show.
said that before. That's a nice. I didn't really sort of put two and two together there.
That
I guess I
was
was
the
too
reason.
much of a rush.
That was the reason for that.
Yeah, that is
so
the
that's the theme for this, is
Nice
End.
one. So the theme for this week is End.
And
that
so
was my choice.
that was Jerome's choice, which Dance with the End of Love by Leonard Cohen. Now we have my. It's weird how this bit's basically non-comedic, but I still really enjoy it. It's my version now.
Thanks for that, Goz. Just after us saying that it's that the
Goz.
theme is End.
So we're gonna have my choice now.
Suggested, is it End? Yeah, we're gonna have Michael's choice now for the theme End.
Don't you forget what I've told you so many years. We are hopeless and slaves to our fears. We're an accident called human beings. Don't be angry for loving me, baby. Don't say it's unreal. So many lies turn to songs, like roses who are hiding their thorns. It's the end of the world, the end of the world. It's a prison for dreams and for hopes, and still we believe there is God. It's the end of the world, the end of the world. We're dead but pretend we're alive, full of ignorance, fools in disguise. In your room doing nothing but staring at flickering screens. Streets are empty but still you can hear joy of children turn into tears. Disease hides around every corner, quietly still. Wait for a moment to hear. We forgot what is touch, what to feel. It's the end of the world, the end of the world. It's a prison for dreams and for hopes, and still we believe there is God. It's the end of the world, the end of the world. We're dead but pretend we're alive, full of ignorance, fools in disguise. Take this
Indeed.
You're listening to Bristol Revunions, okay, guys? The time is 5:37 p.m.
And now is the shipping forecast. That's not true. That was Blackfield, the band, and the song was called "End of the World," in fitting with the theme of end. See, guys, it's got the word ending. I like the fact that a lot of people in the YouTube comment section are saying like, "Oh, it's so appropriate to listen to now because it's called End of the World." The lyrics are like about not sort of, you know, not being able to get to sleep and taking loads of drugs in order to be able to kind of like black out your own consciousness.
So appropriate.
And so yeah, so to be fair, I mean, yeah, but not for the silly. Listen to the lyrics. Wonderful song by Blackfield, which is one of I can't ever remember. Is it Aviv Gessen? The other guy, it's 50%. It's basically two guys. One of them is Stephen Wilson, who's a prog genius, who's amazing. And if I don't actually know what I'd do if I ever met him, I think I'd just melt into jelly.
That'd be rare.
And the other guy is a very, very talented Israeli, or is he Iranian? I can never remember these things.
Palestinian.
He's foreign. And he's very, very good at music. And Blackfield is good. And I recommend you listen to them.
I like that, Michael, because it says up on the wall. Actually, sorry, vote for which one you want.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's meant to be a competition.
Anyway, it says on the wall, struggling with what to say for burst stuff. And one of the things is talk about the music. Yeah. So you've really. I mean,
I can do that. It is kind of what I do most of my life. It is my niche.
Indeed.
There's a big. So for those of you who don't know, who haven't done shows in here, the wall is just covered in advice of what to say, and some of it. So, for example, if we were to contravene the one on the top left, Jerome, don't say everything at once because that's none of this.
So
if you want to, we're trying to do some news. It's really funny news, guys.
That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. So don't do that, guys.
Another thing that is suggested though is tease what's still to come.
Tease what's still to come.
Later on. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We've got a game.
We do have a game. We've got a game now.
Didn't really tease it.
Guys, want to find out that I actually won that with actual votes. I think it's the first time it's ever happened.
You didn't vote for a dead guy. Rude. Rude.
It's the first time that's ever really happened. We've never really had a proper vote before.
Well, yeah, thank you for the collaboration there, people. We know who they are, but you know it's unprofessional to say people's names on the radio. So we're just sort of following a few tips.
So we've got a game. That's what's happening now.
How do you make this? How do you make this every week?
How do you make this?
Honestly, Michael, next term we'll rework it, okay? Because I'm not liking it at the moment. It's too aggressive. The listeners out there are going to plummet if you carry on like this.
I just want Mum to love me.
She will. Okay, so every week...
I don't mean my mum.
Yeah. My mum?
Anyone's mum, really.
Well, it's putting off every mum at the moment, mate. You don't want to be shouting.
Are you a mum?
That's their hearing aids.
You're not a mum, are you? Hearing aids? How old's your mum?
40.
Is she? That's not true.
A baby at 20. Have a laugh. Just sort of...
Anyway, moving on.
So every week we have a game which is called How Do You Make This?
We do. So this is genuinely improvised. So we come up with a thing. The other person has to describe to us, to the other person, how to make the thing. And
last week, I blew it.
You really did. Yours last week was so terrible, genuinely bad.
So I'm really going to have to up my game this week.
Please do, because last week was rubbish.
Very, very poor.
It was quite good from Ben and me. It was from you.
It was okay. Well, no, it was good from Ben and you. Obviously, I just decided to give both of you 0 points.
You did, and then we thought we'd have to give you 0 points out of spite, and luckily we didn't because yours was so bad.
Bad. It was indeed. So I'm trying to come back with a bang this week.
I hope you have a nice poo, Ben.
Thank you.
Not that I know who you are, because that'd be unprofessional.
I'm saying thank you for him because I feel like
okay,
he's entering the hardest stages of the poo.
He's negotiating his way through a tricky poo.
Yeah, exactly. How about you ask me this week to go first? I'll go first.
Because what I would
you always go first. So
that is true. What I want you to tell me is, Jerome, how do you make a fire door?
Well, a fire door, obviously everyone thinks that when you say fire door, we're thinking about something that stops fire from coming through, but all I'm picturing is a door on fire. So it's a very, very simple concept, very simple to make, and really, really nice for the house. Really adds a bit of colour, imagination to your room, which you never would have previously had, and can have in no other way. So what you need to do, after my very, very long description of what a fire door is get a nice plank of leather and just mould it into a triangle. Then you sort of smooth it out with the back end of your hand, and eventually you'll get this nice 2 metre or so sized door. Obviously I had to specify beforehand, you want about a ton of leather to have this door. And then you just douse it in petrol and set fire to it and just chuck it against your wall.
That was a very good explanation on how to set a room on fire. However,
see, I'd say the room wouldn't necessarily be set on fire.
No, but the thing is,
more your imagination.
I appreciate that, like, you definitely describe, you know how to make that. What I would say, however, is when I said make a fire door, I was actually just referring to a door that keeps fire out.
Okay, well, I'd like you to be a bit more specific, because I'm just sort of letting the creative imagination flow here.
You are, and that, I mean, how many houses have you gone through doing that?
Are there points for creativity? 4. Are there points for creativity?
I'll give you a quarter point for creativity, definitely. Like, you know how to make that. You described how to make that.
Can I have
perfectly.
a point for the amount of houses I've gone through as well?
You can have. I'll give you half a point overall. I'll give you a quarter of a point for burning down 4 houses.
Thank you.
I'll give you a quarter of a point for explaining how to make something that wasn't how I asked.
Okay. Fine. So I get half a point.
You get
in
half
round
a point.
one. We're doing 2 rounds.
We're doing 2 rounds because there's only 2 of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yes.
Okay, fine. So I've strong half a point there from our completely unbiased judge, Michael. It's funny because as this goes on, like, I know what will make you win or not, and it's just yeah, whatever. Okay, so Michael, this week I'd like for you to describe to me how you make, on the theme of installations into a building, a glass window.
See, a glass window is a peculiar thing because most people associate windows with being able to see through them. But obviously originally people would make stone or wooden windows. A glass window is actually a very recent creation. So as a result, a lot of people wouldn't necessarily know this, but to make a glass window you've got to start with a stone or a wooden window. So completely and totally opaque. It's essentially just a square or a circle in a wall. And basically what you've got to do is you've got to, over time, kind of mould it into glass. It has to want to be glass. You can't just make it glass. No one makes glass. No one understands what glass is. So you just go up to it. You slowly rub it. You might tell it some nice stories. You try and basically really gain its trust. It might take a few months. It might take a few years. You've got to make sure it knows who you are. You've got to make sure it knows what you want. You know, you've got to say, if I need a favour, you can, I can give you a favour. You scratch my back, I'll rub you gently. So you rub it and you gain its trust, and then you gradually start to basically edge say, well, maybe if you're a bit more transparent, I'll do a few more favours for you. And honestly, you'd be surprised how fast the results come through.
Nice. I like that you really sort of laid it out quite clearly for me, and you specified
quite clearly for you.
Yeah, thank you. Comedy without even knowing it, and you specified as well that you need to speak to it. Tell it nice stories, because everyone always forgets that.
People do, and then you have grumpy glass.
Mm.
Grumpy glass is no glass at all.
But I would have liked to know how it sort of was installed. I know I didn't. Again, a bit vague, almost opaque with my explanation as to what I wanted you to describe to me.
That one was less good.
Thanks. No thanks. And I just assumed you were going to give me a compliment and just said thanks as a sort of default answer. And then after realising you hadn't, I would have liked that. So I'm going to take off a quarter of a point.
That's understandable.
In any case, it was a good explanation. So I'm going to give you 0.75.
Okay, I can accept
so
that.
you're just about in the lead.
That's fair
criticism. But I've still got a good chance. Yeah, which was not at all my aim. It was a completely fair, taking myself out of the situation vote. But yeah, nice one. Well done.
Because, I mean, honestly, on this, we're going to continue the theme of housework, because, Jerome, I would like to ask you how you make paint.
Well, Michael, paint comes in many, many different shapes and sizes. I can tell you that now. I've had many a tussle with paint in my time. Some got on me, some got off me. Let's just leave it at that. So what I did once to make some paint, and it's not universally known, but it's a very, very efficient way of doing so. Find your next door neighbour's cat or dog, and just sort of make it a small incision on its back left leg. The blood you get out of there, put it in the fridge for about 40 days, no more, no less. Once you take it out, you need to take it to a football game. Take it to a football game, show it the pleasure of life. It's hopefully one way you've won. If you haven't, the paint/blood will be sad. Then you bring it back home and you put it out in the sun for about 26 minutes precisely, and then give it a little mix with your index finger, and you have paint that will come out in any colour on a canvas.
See, again, I definitely accept that is how you make paint, but I feel you touched upon a lot of things without properly explaining the ramifications. For example, the effect of what happens when you paint sad paint onto a wall, because it's very important, I think, when you're making paint to understand the risks. And so in that way, I don't think it was basically an OSHA approved demonstration. The techniques were correct. I used to take mine to rugby games, but it's nevertheless it's applicable.
Either of the two, yeah.
But yeah, what I would say is, because it's such a dangerous procedure, you should always explain when you're saying how to make paint. Make sure to give people the risks of making sad paint, and also your constant use of the word "about" followed by an exact figure was at times somewhat confusing.
I like to lure
all of these things,
sense
given. Within the context of a correct explanation, I will give you 0.75.
Oh, thank you.
So you're on 1.25 points at the moment.
Yes.
Okay,
so I'm going into that. So you've got 0.75.
75. So I need
0.5.
I need more than 0.5 to win.
Okay.
0.5 to draw.
Okay. Well, yeah. So sticking on the theme of house stuff, where would you say? Is it that one?
It depends. I don't know what you're going to ask me.
Well, no, you said something earlier. I can't remember exactly what you said. Housework. Basically, Michael, I'd like for you to explain to me how you make, or describe how you make a ladder.
See, this is also one of those things that a lot of people think is much more complicated than it is. All you've got to do to make a ladder, all you've got to start with is a plank, because all of the ladder really is a series of planks on top of one another. Now, you think to do that you have to organise planks on top or not on top of one another, but that's absolutely not true. If planks are near each other, they're very, very territorial. They will fight each other, they will combat, and they will destroy one another. It's a sad thing, but that's nature. You've got to accept it. You can't intervene. You're like a Time Lord. So in order to have a plank, you have to have essentially a series of sort of pocket dimensions aligned in such a way that they occupy different spatial dimensions, but they all hit our dimension in such a way as they appear to be near one another, whilst they are in fact in their own spatial planes completely separate. So the simple way of doing that I've always found is take two planks, hit them together in such a way as antimatter and matter collide, and space erupts around it, and then just throw loads more planks in and hope that you get it in a straight up formation.
Okay.
It's not precise work.
It seemed like that. I mean, your last line of hope.
It's not precise work. Ladder making is mostly like my dad was a ladder.
Your dad was a ladder. Your dad also travelled on a train for half his life.
Why would you bring that up?
I'm just saying. I'm not really sure.
You let him kill
telling
himself.
the complete truth about your dad, and he also, he did kill himself. That was weird. In any case, I was a bit unsure about that sort of end bit. I feel like it was a bit rushed towards the end. I appreciate
the nature of building a ladder.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the detail that was going into the explanation of how you make a ladder. I felt like you faltered in certain areas there. But I'm going to hate doing this because I feel like you win every week. But I don't think it justifies me taking off more than half a point. So just to make it a bit more exciting, I'm going to give you 0.6.
Oh.
So you've won it this week.
Very exciting. We can't have a tie.
Well, I'd like to do a tie, but then if we get a tie, then should we just do a tie?
Let's just do a tie.
Yeah, Christmas is for sharing.
We all lose.
We're all winners. We're all winners. So that was our how do you make this game this week. Now we have we missed it last week.
No,
because
we've missed it for a couple of weeks because I don't know, it wasn't getting sent. I was kind of worried about Morag. Morag listens to our show every week and normally sends in a letter, and for the past couple of weeks we got one the week before last, which was just a piece of paper covered in blood that was whispering. Last week there was nothing. I'm kind of worried about him, but luckily we actually got an email from him today.
Have we actually?
Yeah,
That's
we do. So that's made me feel a bit better about affairs.
I was thinking.
So let me just see if I can find that. It's definitely here somewhere, because that was a big relief to me, actually, in a lot of ways. So yeah, Morag's.
Well, he was an avid listener.
He was an absolutely avid listener. So
and he wrote in every week. So to have 2 weeks where he hadn't written in was quite strange.
It was quite strange. So yeah, do you want to? I've got the email if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, yeah, we're coming up to the end of the show, so it's always nice to sort of end it on Morag's note, I guess. So yeah.
Radio, I have so much to say to the radio. You must learn and understand what I give you. What this I give you is yours and proper now that I have once more learned to think. The vine said that it would rebuild me after the villagers were misted into red, was lying as far as it could try to tell the truth. It wanted me to be rebuilt, but Mother Dirty and Mother Dirty was it, and far from in fact, and it was in me. The vine made me powerful, so I thought I could run. I saw the faces and heard the voices, son, wife, business colleagues at the times, and acquaintances that I had decided to care for. I was to find them again. Mother Dirty had lost me. The forest had shown me what was my capacity. I was to find them again. It did not take long with these legs, now longer in one's philosophy than could merely be seen with eyes or touched with eyes. To London was easy. In the shadows, in the day, I always found myself. I was cannot to be seen, walking through dark forests and brambles where most stores, streets and paving. Finding them was not difficult. I could use my noses and my imaginary eyes to see. Finding them was not difficult, but seeing them and making them see me would not be the easy half of life. My son first. In room. The house I did not recognise. It was not my doors or walls. They had chosen to live, moved from the place that I had known. My son was 5 feet and 9 inches tall. This was 1 foot and 4 inches taller than his face was from the floor the last that I'd saw him. He had a moustache that was no good, but grown in some manner. I had been away. This sad news forced noise from me, and with that an illusion that I had carried with me all the way into London, that had allowed me past people and cars and parked lorries and such, shattered entirely, leaving me standing there. My son screamed. He screamed and did not stop. I wanted to talk, but my voice so wizened had hardened into wood, and timber spewed from me with the impression of meaning. My son screamed, and my wife entered the room, and she screamed and doubled the noise. She was a calm and sensible woman. Whatever I had ended with in face was clearly enough to take her sensibles into a rotten half-thought, leaving her animal fear behind. Red water came from my eyes and lips. A sadness beyond my description welled. I am sorry to those who I have not been able to talk to inform them of what is happening inside of me. It is like I am trapped in a whirlpool, and the moment I reach for something I am tumbled round into meaningless or rudeness. There's a language that I used to know that I have forgotten over time, and I do not know how to retrieve it. I refuse to lie. All I can do is lie, and my smile is rusted over, and it hurts more than I can say. I would rather have that pain than nothing, but all I want is the people I care for back. I don't know how I can do that when I look in the mirror. I am the vine. I can only flee, run from London. Find ground. I hope the Times get my editorial. Dig. Someone will harvest me. I bled Mother Dirty, and so I am become. Love the show, lads. Bring on 2017.
Did sound a bit like something in a war zone.
I don't know. I mean, it's Morag's life is Morag's life.
But I hope he's back.
I hope he's feeling okay.
Yeah. I'd like to hear from him and just make sure he's okay.
No, yeah, it matters to me a lot. I mean, I've actually invested quite a lot of
hasn't
myself in Morag. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's quite confusing to read, but
yeah, it is confusing to listen to. I'd say is probably the biggest thing there.
What we can both agree on is it's definitely not funny.
You say it's got it sort of after 2 weeks it fell off the cliff of funny.
Yeah, I stopped trying to make them funny.
Yeah, but it's appreciated.
Not that I write them.
For the
I
value.
don't write them. Morag writes them.
No, yeah. In your telepathic communication with Morag, you mean? Obviously,
Indeed.
and Morag are very close. So, every week we tell you guys where we've been.
Exactly. We go around Bristol. It's a beautiful city. We like to advertise it to
Exactly. We've been to many places.
We've been to
at
lots
the
and
bottom
lots
of an
of
oil
places.
tanker.
Yeah,
Been in an oil tanker.
In a full oil tanker as well. We've been to the moon.
We've been at the bottom
We've
of a well.
been outside a zoo in the dark.
So we've been to many places.
Lots and lots of places in Bristol.
And this week was like any other we've been to.
So let's play the clip.
So let's play the clip of where we were this week.
Okay, yours. So,
Okay, yes. So
where were we there, Jerome?
Well, Michael, we were down at the Christmas market, which was you and I the other night.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Very, very nice.
We saw a man dressed as Santa choking on the beard hair of another man dressed as Santa. We saw a man who was enjoying Christmas so much that he forgot how to see and walked straight into the mouth of a shark.
And we saw a man have some mulled wine get funneled into his rear end.
Yeah, God.
Which is a competition, funny enough. I didn't really understand it.
No, I don't know why I set it up.
Well, yeah.
I know,
Really
it was
hot.
weird. It was very hot.
Seemed in a lot of pain.
God, it was hot.
The crowd wasn't even enjoying it either.
No one was enjoying that. No one was.
Actually, we went home after that point because it all got a bit weird.
It did, yeah.
The ambulance came.
When you start pooing blisters, you know something's gone wrong.
You know something's gone wrong. I don't think you sort of look at that and go, yeah.
Yeah, this is my life.
Good Sunday.
No, it wasn't. But it was nevertheless generally a really nice
Very
evening.
nice, really nice evening. Go down, visit that
Absolutely
place.
silent in the background as well.
Indeed. I mean, the atmosphere picked up later. We sort of
It did.
it
We
as were
recorded
on the
that quite
periphery,
early, yeah.
on the periphery of the Christmas market. But we had mulled cider. We had a couple little snacks as well. So it's really, really nice. Bristol is amazing.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to get out of it.
I wholeheartedly agree with that entire sentiment.
This is the end of
the first instalment.
as
Well,
I
technically the
say.
first instalment was the first batch. This is the end of the first batch.
This is the end of the first batch.
We'll probably be coming back in. We hope we'll be coming.
We will
back in
be when
February.
I sort out the application. Don't care, but I'm mentioning it. I've had a very, very fun time. It's been a pleasure, Michael. Thank you to everyone that's listened.
Thank you to Michael as well for being fantastic, and thank you to everyone that hasn't
Not
listened.
going to thank me back.
Thank you, Jerome.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I'd
like to thank all the people that haven't listened, because I think in many ways they've made the show just as well.
Yes, you've made it what it is. I like to thank. Burst? No, I'm joking.
They have hosted us, but also nothing in the studio works.
Yeah, I like to thank them for providing mics, and that is all. And I'd like to thank the University of Bristol for accepting me into this beautiful institution in the first place. And my mum.
I'd like to thank your mum as well.
Yeah, I think I was wondering when you'd say that as well. She's done a lot for you, Michael.
She has. A weirdly large amount for me.
Weirdly large amount for you. But yeah, thank you everyone. We'll be back in
And
January.
you know what, guys? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry
fucking Christmas.
Merry fucking Christmas.